Well, happy Monday, you handsome lot. And on the ramp today, we've got a 2022 Volkswagen Tiguan, which has covered 31,000 miles. Now, this vehicle has been to the dealers for a service, and they have advised him to get the brake fluid changed.
You are probably thinking, this car's only 2 years old, it's 31,000 miles. Does it actually need a brake fluid change? Well, the answer is yes, because brake fluid needs to be changed every 2 years because it is hygroscopic and it does get dirty, believe it or not. Even though it's in the sealed unit, it does get dirty. First thing we're going to be doing, all these modern cars now, they've got little filters. Now, you do damage them. I'm not going to say that you don't damage them. You do damage them, getting them out, but it's only just putting little marks in them, you know, where you're getting your little picking to pull it out. If I pull it out now, if I pull it over gently, I don't know whether you can see this, but inside there's lots of, that's all just off me, that is. This brake fluid, it's actually gone grey. Now, to carry out this procedure, what we're going to be using is a launch brake bleeder. Now, this has got a little suction pump on it. We switch it on. We can put this little end now in that reservoir, and you should see the fluid being sucked up. If we give it a little bit of a shake, it does look, trust me, it is awfully black in there. And it will go through a filter, and you can see how dirty that filter actually is. After a couple of minutes, we've got that reservoir now all drained out of all that old fluid. Oh, drop my torch. Now, this machine, it does come with 2 caps, but you can also buy an adapter kit, which it does fit pretty much everything. And we're going to get the correct cap now that fits that little tank. Now, after we fitted the correct cap, obviously there is one where it go up or comes out this way. Now, we're going to be using this one. Simple reason being, because we want the pipe to come down the front of the engine, front of the car, because we're going to be taking the car up in the air. Now, let's get this fill pipe and get this connected. And they are just little push fits. And that is clipped on. Now, all these modern day cars now with all these fancy ABS units and stuff like that, they need to be bled in a certain procedure. Now, a lot of them, they have to be held at a constant 2 bar of pressure to be able to bleed the system correctly, which I'm going to show you now exactly what the manufacturers recommend. Now, of course, we are looking at all data, and it does tell you, and it tells you all the special tools that we need to be using, and even tells you where to start, which is a little bit, I've always started the furthest away, but I should imagine because the system's already full, we haven't got to get all the air out and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we're going to be starting at the front left brake caliper, and we need to be holding that at a pressure of 2 bar is required for bleeding. Should we get it pressurized? Now, this bleeding machine, it has got a little bit of a tank at the back, so make sure that it is nice and full, because the last thing you want to be doing is entering air into that system. So we're going to switch it on, adjust the pressure up until it makes a click. It'll click when it gets to 1 bar, and it will keep that tank filled up perfectly. Now, it's filling itself up now. Once it's filled, it'll start creating pressure. Now, once it's at that, we can just adjust the pressure switch to suit. We need to hold that now. Drop it down. I've gone a little bit too far. Drop it down. We'll bang on 2 bar of pressure there now. And what we want to be doing is just checking for leaks, make sure there's nothing leaking, because the last thing you want is brake fluid everywhere. Now, with that vehicle up in the air, we're going to make a start on bleeding these brakes. Now, I have already fitted new discs and pads to the back of this vehicle, where, if you haven't seen any of my videos changing brakes before now, I open a nipple, push the pot back and get all that dirty fluid out of the piston. Then obviously we've put the brakes on, pump the pedal so the pedal is nice and hard. Now we're going to start, as the diagnostic computer says, well, all data has said, starting at the front left. Now what we're going to do, just take a little caps off, put them to one side. What I normally do is just rest them on the inside of the wheel, like so. You're not going to lose them. Now let's go ahead and connect a nice clean little receptacle. We want about 150 mil out of each side. Pipe onto the bleed nipple, 11 mil. Make sure that your tool is up to 2 bar. And then open that bleed nipple. And then that fluid now will start coming through into your little bottle. Simple as that, really. To keep it simple, rather than confuse things, I've left it to 200 mil. And it does look a little bit grotty, doesn't it? Now we're going to move over to, which side is it? I can't remember now. Is it front? It's completely opposite to what I normally work at. We've got front left, front right. Let's move it over to the front right. Now with that front right now bleeding out, the amount of people that when I do these videos, or I've mentioned it to people in the past about getting your brake fluid changed, and they're like, oh, well, my brake's working fine. But yeah, at some point in that life, that brake fluid in that caliper has got to its boiling point and it is not going to be working as it should be. And I can guarantee you, once you've changed your brake fluid, your brakes will be 10 times better. You'll get a better feel of the pedal. They will perform better. It is, whenever you're taking your car for its next service, oh, hang on, we're getting there. When you're taking your car for its next service, just ask them and say, if you've never had it changed since you've owned the car, just mention it to them and say, oh, how much, or is there any chance of getting my brake fluid changed? I can assure you, it will make a massive difference. A massive difference. But anyway, let's move around to the back. Right, well, as I said, we're moving around to the back now. Now, I have already made this bleed nipple nice and easy to remove. You probably can't see me, but there is not much to see other than connecting a pipe and opening a little bit of a bleed nipple. I'm going to do the same to this rear left now. 200 mil. I'm not going to bore you doing that. Driver side rear. Now, while I'm waiting for this driver side rear to bleed out, a lot of you are probably going to be thinking, oh, do you need to activate the ABS pump? When you're just bleeding a system, you don't need to. But when you, like say if you were putting a brand new ABS pump on, then you would have to activate the ABS pump and get all the air out of the system, because otherwise you will not get a pedal. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. We're getting there slowly. Right, well, with everything now finished its cycle, we can go around, put the little dust caps back on and get some brake fluid cleaner. If you've spilt any, just give it a little bit of a clean down, and that goes all around the brakes as well. Where the little dust cap can be. Plonk them on. And make sure you've got no brake fluid anywhere. Oh, I put that cap on. I put that one on. And I put that one on as well. And with a little bit of magic, now that car is back on all four wheels and we've put everything away. Make sure that you wrap everything up and keep it nice and tidy. If you look after your tools, they will be there for a long, long time for you. Now, if you want to rewind back to the start of the video where I showed you the colour of the brake fluid. Now, if you can see around the side there, it is bang on the max. Look at the colour of that now. Perfect. Perfect. Now, the little filter, wherever it shall be. Now, I have given it a bit of a cleaner-oonie. Can you see where you just damage them a little bit, getting them out? It's unavoidable. But anyway, we're going to get this now plonked back in there. Get the cap on. Don't go too mad, because a customer might need to check it one day, and if you put it on too tight and they can't get it undone, well, I'm going to get some brake clutch cleaner and give it a little bit of a cleaner-oonie. Bearing in mind this vehicle has only just come from Volkswagen for after a service, and that under the bonnet doesn't look as if anything's been done, because I'm the last to go underneath there, I'm going to give it a clean and make it look as if something has been done. Now, doesn't that look a little bit more presentable? I think so. Right, everything now on the external of the vehicle is now done. Wheels are torqued up, brake fluid is at its maximum and it's nice and clean. I'm going to jump in the car now, make sure that that brake pedal is rock hard. I'm going to give it a big start rooning. And remember, I've had the back brakes apart on this as well, so I'm just going to check the operation of the handbrake, make sure it's working and the lights going out. And the brake pedal now is absolutely perfect. It feels good. No doubt that they are going to be sharper. Chances are the customer might have to get used to these brakes again because they are really sharp. And there you have it. That is one brake fluid service on a 2022 Volkswagen Tiguan, which has covered 31,000 miles. Now, yes, and I get people saying, oh, that machine is too expensive. Oh, I've got an easy bleed when you couple it up to the valve. Yes, you probably have. Then it probably does what you need to do once every 5 years on your drive. But remember, I am doing this weekly and I'm using that tool all the time. And it's taking one man instead of two. It's an absolutely brilliant tool. But yeah, I'm going to plod on now. I've got a few other bits and bobs to do. I've got a pretty quiet week this week, I think. I think it's because it's the school term. The kids have broke up now, haven't they? But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, please click that like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Let's get it sent.